Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back to the channel. I do thank you for watching. I thank all my subscribers, and I think I've come up with a game plan for my rub rail. I do need to install a rub rail on this boat to finish it out, and I'll come back to these three pieces of Meranti plywood. I'll explain what's going on with that in a moment. Let me kind of show you here what I'm talking about. I'm making some pieces that will install on these corners, on the outboard sides, and of course on the center right here. I don't want to try to bend. I've got vinyl over here. Let me show you what I have. Let me back up for just a second. This is the rub rail I have right here. It's that kind of just a vinyl rub rail, and I had some concerns about being I had some concerns about being able to wrap that around these corners and getting it to look decent, and especially right here on this point on the bow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some hard corners, kind of like what I did back here. This is just some Meranti plywood that I built up, sanded off, and then wrapped it with carbon fiber. And of course this is to protect that corner when I have the toe strap cinched down, or not toe strap, what did I just say? When I have the tie down strap cinched down. Okay, yeah, we got that right. But anyway, this is to protect this corner back here for when I have the tie down strap cinched down, and that's just to kind of give it a little bit of wear resistance. And so what we're going to do the same thing here, except so let F-18 goes by, except of course, you know, it's got to go around these corners, and so it'll pose a little bit more of a challenge. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut pieces for those corners rather than trying to steam bend wood, because I don't have a steam box. I don't have any way to steam bend any solid pieces of wood, so we're just going to do it like this. I'll stack these up, glue them, and this is actually made for this other side here. And of course I'm doing this with one hand, trying to hold the camera. Let me switch to my right hand there. And once they're sanded and finished out, there we go. Of course they'll be stacked up and glued, and once they're sanded and finished out, of course the corners will be rounded over, and that will be wrapped with carbon fiber, and that's just to give us some hard bump points here on these corners. Again, I didn't know how well that vinyl would wrap around these corners. Maybe, you know, I could have done it with a heat gun or something like that, but I think this will look a little bit better. And plus, at the same time, I think it'll give me a little bit more protection on these corners, because this is where it's going to be prone to want to make contact with a dock or some other structure. And so, like I said, that'll just give it a little bit more protection right there. It's going to be more time consuming, of course. It's going to take a little bit of time to make all these and stack them up and get the radiuses just right. And so it'll be a lot of sanding and cutting and sanding and cutting and sanding. And of course, you know, I've got to do the layup with carbon fiber. All right, folks, so that is the game plan. Still have to get those hatches in. That shouldn't be too difficult. It's just a matter of just getting out here and doing it. All right, that's all I have for right now. I will be back as we move forward on the rub rail. We'll see you then. Okay, folks, I'm back, and I have these pieces made for these corners, and actually it has now been about 2.5 weeks since I recorded those prior segments, and that is because it is August, it is Texas, and it is hot. And even though we've had a fairly mild summer to begin with, once August got here, yeah, it fired up, and it got hot, and we've had some days 107, 108, but it hasn't been too bad. And 10-day forecast calls for a little bit of a cool down. It'll be cool enough to where I can get out here and pick up on this again. And so that's what I plan to do. Now I do have one more piece to make for the nose right here. And we get the camera down there. Working with a different camera right now. And I do have this one more piece to make, and I've got the first piece cut out for it. Let me get it and show you here. Here we are. And I've got to do the same thing with this that I did here. Just got to cut multiple pieces, stack them up, and sand them out. Now, I did change the game plan just a little bit. I'm not going to wrap these with carbon fiber. And the reason is I think that it would just be very time consuming. It would be a lot of work to try to get that carbon fiber to lay down on this curved piece right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to coat these with fiberglass resin, get them nice and slick, and just paint them either a satin or a semi-gloss black, and we're just going to tack them on just like that. Because really the only reason I used carbon fiber back here was to provide that wear protection, was to keep that strap from wearing into this corner right here. I talked about that tie-down strap, and I didn't want that tie-down strap digging into this corner, because you know, as you're going down the road, you know, stuff's moving around, and like I said, that carbon fiber is there just to provide wear protection. Really, I don't need that up here. And so yeah, we're just going to go ahead and paint these black, and then install that vinyl in between these pieces like I mentioned previously. Alright folks, like I said, it's been about 2.5 weeks. I did have to put this project on hold for a little bit while you know, the temperatures were in the 105, 106, 107 degree range, and you know, as always, you know, I always like to kind of play it safe when it comes to the heat. Don't want to get out here and get to a point where I have to go to the hospital and get IV fluids or anything like that. And also, I did have a couple of home remodeling projects on the inside of the house that I needed to take care of. So, and the camera just shut off on me there for a second. I don't know what was going on with that. The battery's fully charged. Like I mentioned earlier, I am using a different camera. I'm still getting used to it. But anyway, I was able to get those remodeling projects done. Use the time to work indoors where it's air conditioned, and got all that stuff done in there. But the forecast is calling for temperatures to start cooling down a little bit, and so once we get to that point, once the temperatures start to cool, I will be able to get back out here and jump back into this. So we will see you then. Well, alright, I just finished putting a coat of resin on these corner pieces, and I've got to say, that does not look half bad, just like it is, just like they are. Might leave them like that. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, we'll see you later. Okay folks, I'm back, and I did kind of change up my plans again. And you know, it's just kind of the way it goes. You know, once you try something and you look at how it's going to work, or you see how it's going to look, it's like, yeah, that's just not going to work. So you go with a different plan. And so right here, these pieces right here, that's my different plan. And the plan now is to make one solid piece all the way across the front of this bow right here for a rub rail, and that's what these pieces are. That's 3/8 Okumi plywood right there. It's marine grade plywood, and I've got 3 of these cut. The other one's back here. And I'm gonna stack these up just like so, and then we're going to cut off the ends to fit up against these other pieces right here. And I'll probably do some kind of a scarf cut right there to join the ends. Now these are way longer than they need to be, so I have plenty to cut off. Like I said, I'll probably do some kind of an angled scarf cut to blend these into these corner pieces right here. And a while ago I said, you know, I was going to do it in one piece, and what I really meant was it's going to be one piece from here over to here. It'll be one solid piece in between those little corner pieces right there. And really it's just a lot of tedious work, time-consuming work there, as I've got to stack these up, glue them, wait for the glue to dry, and then just sand everything in. And so I'm going to get busy doing that, and when that's done, I'll show you what I've been rambling about here for the last 2 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, so maybe this will give you a little bit better idea of what I was talking about previously. Once these pieces right here are glued up and stacked up, and I'm only doing them 2 at a time, the other one's over there on the work table, on that makeshift work table. It's all glued up and clamped. But once I get that done, get them sanded to looking like these pieces here, and let me tell you, it's kind of awkward trying to hold this camera and hold these pieces here with my left hand. And so we'll get the ends, like I said, we'll do some kind of a scarf cut, and we'll blend them in. We'll sand these pieces in and just kind of blend it all together, and then we'll get it attached. Sounds easy, but it is going to take time. All right, I'll be back. Okay folks, I am back. It is the next day. The glue has set up, and this is what I was talking about right here. This will provide protection for this entire front edge, and of course I have those pieces for the corners. And once I get that sanded and get that finished, I think that's going to look real nice. Alright, let me get to working on that. Just a lot of tedious work ahead. I'll see you when I'm done. Okay folks, we're getting closer. Of course I'm just holding that centerpiece in there by hand. But I've kind of got it lodged up against this outboard piece here, which, as you can see, I've got it attached with fasteners. Now that is going to come back off. I do need to finish these, but I also need to attach them to the boat temporarily so I can do all the finish sanding. Alright folks, I have not recorded this process. Again, like I said, it's very tedious, it's very time consuming, and gosh, it would make for a 3-hour video if I recorded all that. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the end result. Alright, I'm going to get back to work on that. I'll see you here in a bit. Alright, just like that, I'm done. I've got all 3 pieces finished, and they're temporarily attached to the boat, and I needed to attach them so that I could sand at these seams right here where the pieces join together, where the middle piece joins to these corner pieces right here. And I needed to blend sand that, and that's all done now. It almost looks like one piece, almost. Same thing over here. And so now that that is complete, I'll pull those pieces back off and get them finished. I'll see you when that's done. Okay folks, I've got these pieces back off the boat. I have them coated with fiberglass resin, and what I'm probably going to do, I'll probably leave these little corner pieces just like they are, but I am going to go ahead and paint this piece satin black. And well, once I get that back on there, we'll just see how it looks. But once these pieces are finished like I want them, and once they're back on the boat, then we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up this video. Alright, we'll see you then. Okay, so I did decide to go ahead and paint those pieces, and I think once I have them attached to the boat again, I think I'm going to be glad I did. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get that done. I will be back here shortly. Okay folks, so the forward section of the rub rail is done. I still have to lay some kind of a material down the sides. I may not use that vinyl. I might just pick up on what I did right here and just go all the way down the side of the boat with some sort of a hardwood rub rail, and then just finish it out like this. So we'll see. But anyway, this part is done, and because it has been so long since I've been able to get a video out to you, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up right there. Yeah. So I just had a lot of stuff going on in the month of August, and of course it was hot. You know, I did mention that here a few segments back, that I did have to shut the shop down for a couple of weeks due to the heat. I mean, it's Texas, it's August, what do you expect? But anyway, cooler temperatures are here again, and so now we're going to be able to get out here and finish this build. hopefully we'll get this done here in the next few weeks. So with all that said, I do thank each and every one of you for watching. I especially want to thank you for your patience, because again, like I said, I know it's been well over a month since I've uploaded a video, and it's just, you know, some things beyond my control. But I just want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank you for watching this video. God bless each and every one of you. And as I always say, in all things, to Christ be the glory, and we will see you next time.